Hello, real estate professionals. So you just got your license. Congratulations. Give yourself a big applause because it's not easy to do. I just want to suggest to you some ways that you might be able to get some business because you're a new agent, you're done, you're at home, and you're going, okay, I'm ready to sell real estate. Come and see me. Well, there's a saying, the boss man doesn't come and knocking on your door. In other words, nobody's going to just jump up and go, you're licensed, so let me go knock on their door and let them, list my property or sell me a home. You have to work at it. So maybe you belong to some soccer leagues or some groups or organizations. Start a list. Write down some of the places you belong. Make sure you always carry your business cards. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. If you're new, that's probably the first place you're going to start because you got to start somewhere. And there's also places you can buy leads, but I wouldn't suggest that when you're first starting out. I would start small and work with your what's called sphere of influence, which would be your family and friends. And if you're, recently out of college, recently out of high school, and you know a lot of people, start making some phone calls or start texting as we all do today. Hey, I got my license. I just want you to know I can sell residential real estate, and these are my areas of service. If you know anybody that could use, my skill set, I'd be happy to help. And those are some quick ways to try to drum up some business. Other ways that you may not think about would be, do you go to the grocery store? Do you go to the craft store? Do you go to, some kind of movie theater? What is it that you do on a general basis where you go out and you're seen in public and that you can say to somebody, hey, you know what? I'm checking out right now and I just want you to know that I also sell real estate. So, give the cashier your card. Well, they might go, what's that person giving that to me for? But they might go, oh, you know what? My husband and I are looking for a house and we haven't found a realtor yet. And I'd love your card. So you may make a connection that you didn't know that you had. The other thing is if you go out to eat and you get great service from that, that wait staff person, you might want to write on the back of your card, thank you for your awesome service, and put that business card right there with their tip. And you never know. They might go, oh, wow, we're looking for a house or I'm looking for a house. And that person, we connected. They loved my service and sure, I could buy a house from them. So you never know where those little tidbits of, information are going to come from, and you never know where that source. And let's say you rent a house and you have neighbors and you want to knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, you know what, I just moved in, I'm renting, or I bought, whichever one you're doing, and connect with those neighbors and say, they might say to you, well, why are you renting instead of buying? But that's another story. That's for another tip talk. But you can always ask your neighbors if they know anybody that's going to be selling, or if they're going to be selling in the near future. Another place, and this is going to sound crazy, but in these small towns in New Hampshire, the recycling center, everybody goes to hang out there on the weekends, and you've got the girls selling their cookies and people disseminating their flyers. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of talk around that sanitation can there. So that's another place to maybe pick up some leads. The other place you might, want to drop your cards off is maybe people like, these home remodeling stores. Maybe you want to drop your cards off because people are doing home remodeling to sell their property or to get it ready to sell. And maybe you have a whole network of people like contractors, electricians, people like that, tradespeople. You really want to connect with anybody in the trades industry and say, look, If you're doing some electrical work or you're doing some plumbing or that type of thing, keep a stack of my cards handy, and I'll keep a stack of your cards handy. And that way there's a reciprocity uh, agreement, so to speak. It's not a written agreement, but it's kind of a verbal thing. Hey, I will give your cards out if you give my cards out. And that's fine. You can give each other's cards out as long as you're not, handing out monies, because that's a no-no. But you can certainly recommend somebody just because you like them and you think they do a good job, and they can do the same with you. So hopefully that helps as far as where you can get a few leads from. And we'll do some more talking about this in the future in other ways. And thank you for joining Lori's Tip Talk. Have a great day, guys.